Welcome back to All the Kings Men. Joining us today, Liam Greentree. How are you doing today, Liam?
Good, how are you?
And featuring Zach Dooley. How are you doing today, Zach?
Great.
Liam, you were drafted last year in the first round by the LA Kings. You scored 90 points for the Windsor Spitfires. And there was a lot of conversation about, going back to Windsor. Would you improve? Would the team improve? You followed up a ho-hum 90-point season with 119 points. How'd you feel about your season?
Yeah, it was awesome. Windsor's a great spot. Obviously, I've been there for 3 years now, and all 3 years was a lot of fun. So, obviously it was a good year for me, and we had a much different culture, which definitely helped a lot. So, it was a lot of fun.
When you scored the 90 points, you were the leading scorer for your team that year. This year, with 119 points, you're the second leading scorer. Is it easier to score points when you've got other guys on the team putting up 120 points or whatever it is?
Yeah. Obviously, Ilya Protas was, I played with him just about all year, and he had 124 points, I'm pretty sure. So, obviously it's easier to play with a guy like that. He's a great player. I mean, he wasn't supposed to be like a huge point producer, and he came in and just had a huge year, and he's a great guy, and so it was a privilege to get to play with a guy like that for sure.
Obviously the individual side is great, but the team also took massive strides forward, right? Like, how cool is it to be a part of a team that succeeded as well as you guys did, especially in the regular season?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest point difference between 2 years in Spitfires history, so it was pretty cool to be a part of that. Obviously, we had new coaches coming in, and Greg Walters, he was awesome for us, and he's obviously going to continue being a great coach for us. So, I think he really was a huge help to turning our team around.
We're here at Dev Camp, and it's this. Zach and I were talking about it earlier today. For you, it's probably not much different, but for some of us, there's like this lull in summer activity, and then draft, free agency, Dev Camp. We're sort of back in it. And we were talking to Ken Holland the other day, and he tossed your name out in a conversation about fourth line minutes next year. And honestly, I just wouldn't have thought that might have been a possibility before he said it, but now that he said it out loud, it sort of becomes part of the conversation. Have you talked to anybody with the Kings about the possibility of coming to camp this year with a realistic shot at winning a spot in the lineup?
Yeah, obviously it could happen for sure. I've talked to Ken only, I think one time so far, and we kept it to just, nothing about hockey. We were just getting to know each other, so that was really nice. But I think for me, it's just coming to camp, and I think every time I come here, I'm trying to, make a name for myself and kind of stand out. So, obviously I don't think I've really had a conversation with anyone about, making the Kings, but I think it's something that they can expect, and you never know what can happen.
The minutes that would be available are probably bottom 6 minutes. You're obviously in Windsor playing a top 6 role. Have you given any thought or have you had any experience, changing your game to play a different role, or have you always just been that kind of guy?
Yeah, I think for me it's I'm good to do whatever they need me to do, and I think that's kind of my mindset, and if I got to go out there and mix up the pot, I'm good for that. So I think I'm not just set to one kind of play style, but obviously everyone wants to be that goal scorer kind of player and that point producer, but it's hard to do that in the NHL, and I know that, and so for me, just to make the team, and I think once I'm here and once I kind of get rolling, that things will pick up.
Would you say World Juniors another kind of goal on the bucket list, being last year eligible to play for Team Canada at that event?
Yeah, for sure. World Juniors is something that I've kind of thought about, and hopefully I can crack that lineup. Obviously, that would be really cool, and representing your country, especially at World Juniors, is really special. So that would be a really cool thing to be a part of.
Anytime a player goes through any sort of health issues, there's always the same question that has to be asked of the coach. Any updates? What's this? So, but now we actually have the player here. How's your health doing?
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. I've been skating a lot. I haven't been skating a lot since I got the surgery. So, to get here and get my legs under me feels really nice. So been doing a lot of skating on the little pond out there. So it's been coming along well, and I'm excited obviously to get back to shooting and all that good stuff.
I mean, we're sitting here with you right now, and if I didn't know that you had wrist surgery, I would not guess that you had wrist surgery. And you're out there on the ice. I mean, where's your mobility at?
Yeah, I just got cleared to start stick handling, so I've been out there just kind of working on, obviously some moves that the development guys are showing me. So just coming out here, stick handling and get my wrist, the feeling back, and, obviously get my legs under me is huge.
I feel like the backhand's going to be nasty now because I see you out there shooting with one hand on the stick.
Yeah, the one-handed backhand might be a tool bag, might be in the tool bag.
Is it still, or I imagine it was still really important for you to come this week, right? Even though you can't really participate in full, you can't shoot or play in the scrimmages, but you're still kind of getting a few important things out of this week just by being around?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's new guys to meet. Obviously, Ken Holland is a big guy that I wanted to meet coming here, and obviously I want to talk to the development guys and see what they want, and obviously the doctors about my wrist. So there was a lot to do here. It's been fun, obviously, and then I mean it's LA. It's not like it's you're going out somewhere cold. So it's kind of like it's a nice getaway, and I always love coming out here.
You're in that weird window where you've been drafted by a National Hockey League team, you've signed an entry-level contract, but you also have responsibilities to Windsor, and I'm assuming you would want to fulfill those to your teammates and your coaches, and so you have expectations on you from that staff, but also this staff. Now that you've been to a second dev camp and you've had a year to talk to these guys, how do you juggle those two responsibilities?
Yeah, no, I mean I love Windsor, and I love LA. So I mean for me it's whatever happens. I mean obviously the goal is to play in the NHL. So if I stayed with the Kings, it is what it is, and I would love that. So, but if I got sent back down to Windsor, I have no problem with that. Windsor's a great city, a great spot. The organization's great. So I've been treated there, good there for 3 years. So. I have no problem with, going back down to Windsor, and, obviously I love Windsor, so, yeah.
Jarrett Stoll spoke to us on Monday after the scrimmage and talked about lessons, maybe too strong a word, but notes that were given during the skates, the drills, things that players should focus on, should look forward, and then whether or not those things showed up in the scrimmage on Monday. If you're not participating in the scrimmage, are you straddling that line between, telling other guys what to look for and what to look out for?
Yeah, I think I've just been watching the scrimmages, but they're good. The guys are playing good. I thought it looked pretty good the other day. I think I only know a couple of guys. I'm getting to know a lot more, but I'm just trying to give. I mean, I'm with Morneau, who played with me in Windsor, so I'm just trying to kind of help him. And obviously I was here last year, so. Just a couple things I picked up on. I'm just trying to let him know, and yeah.
A lot of OHL guys here. Is it cool or is it weird to be competing against, a Bristevich or a Woolley or a George, and then now you guys are all here kind of on the same side, and you're all Kings at the end of the day, but you play each other a lot in the season?
Yeah, I mean, for me, Woolley, I kind of know him. He's from, near Oshawa. He grew up near Oshawa, so I kind of knew him before. And George, I played with at, Canada events, so I kind of know both of them. And then, obviously me and Brustevich, we had a little tilt back in the OHL. But, no, he's a good guy. It wasn't out of, hate you or anything. It wasn't out of that, so it was just kind of respect thing, and he's been good, and I always love seeing the guys and always asking about their how their year was, so it's always interesting to see how those organizations treat them and all that good stuff.
Do you guys talk about the scrap or?
No, we haven't. I'm sure we'll get to that soon though.
You're at a disadvantage. You can only go one hand.
I know, I can only go one hand now. He'd probably grab me now.
Any moments from any players in camp that set your eyebrows up, where you were surprised or excited to see something that you hadn't seen from somebody before?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of guys here who, I think, Nathan Leake, who's been, he's been on my, I've seen him a couple times and make some good plays. So it's always cool to come out here and see the different type of style of games, especially when you mix together, school guys and CHL guys and Europeans. So it's cool to see how kind of guys, make moves and do this in a corner and all that stuff.
Not being able to participate in the scrimmages, but having access to the development staff and maybe slightly more of a behind-the-scenes look at it, are you able to learn anything about goaltending and how to beat goalies more? Because, can you sit there and pick Jarrett Stoll's brain if you want because you've got a few extra minutes?
Yeah. I think one big thing is they focus a lot on shooting and how to beat goalies in the National Hockey League. So, it's really cool to see, how technical it is and how there's different ways of beating a goalie. And so for me, I've been listening. Obviously, I can't shoot here, but, I've been listening a lot. Obviously, at last development camp, it kind of was an eye-opener for me. So, I talked to Stoley and Mel a lot about it, and, they're great.
When we talked last year, you said the biggest area of your game you wanted to work on was your skating. Wondering how you felt that you kind of took some strides in that area throughout the year.
Yeah, for me, it was, obviously a lot of power skating. I think, my technicality with it is something that I need to get better at. So I think I'm getting better in that area. And then obviously just getting my legs stronger and more powerful strides is huge. So I think that's an off-season kind of thing. And in the summer, just training my legs and making sure they're, ready for the season.
I think I'm good, Zach. You got anything more?
All good.
All right, Liam, thank you very much for coming and joining us. Enjoy the rest of the week, and hope you have a good season wherever you wind up playing.
Thank you so much.